They did a package where they tried to make sense of why they're having a street fight with Sting and Darby Allin against Team Taz after Sting and Darby Allin kicked the shit out of Team Taz for the past 2 or 3 weeks in a row. And then here we go. This is the cinematic movie that Sting always wanted to make. Remember when I said that everybody at the top of this show, I said everybody involved in this thing that's ever been a star or anybody accomplished in wrestling has just said, F it. Wrestling's dead. It's over. I'm taking this guy's money. Except for Sting. I think Sting is got to be pissed that he never got to make movies like the WWF guys, and this is his last chance. Because what? I don't even know where to start. They did live commentary over a movie. You know that the announcers, and Taz joined them. His team was in the street fight, but he was there at the announce desk. And you know the announcers are live. But you also know that what you're looking at has to be taped because there's no way it can possibly be live unless everybody that was watching it's on acid. So when the announcers are talking about it, is it present tense? Is it past tense? At one point, Taz was cheering for one of the guys to get out of the way. Wouldn't he already know? Since it's obviously already been done? So the logic of the presentation and even what time warp we're in is suspect. The cinematic part of it, it looks like it was shot by a wannabe director for an 80s MTV video. It's like one of those deals where like somebody in fucking first year film school, it doesn't matter whether the content makes any sense or not, or whether the performance is any good as long as all the camera angles are cool. Darby Allin skateboarded to the street fight, and Sting was at, you'd think, as one of the announcers said, I think it was Taz, Sting would be able to afford a better car. But it took forever for him to get there so they could have a bunch of cool skateboarding and driving scenes. And then they started fighting their street fight in a fucking warehouse with a ring and 20 million people dressed like miniature Darby druids. And there were a lot of cool shots with a drone and overhead stuff. And as I said, somebody who apparently is a frustrated film school student. This, to me, this presentation, and the tooth and nail was abysmal because it was amateurish as well as phony. But this was even more egregious to me because the tooth and nail had a couple girl wrestlers in it. Let's just be honest. A couple of unknown fucking girl wrestlers. So it deserved all the amateurishness that it was shot with production-wise as well. But this contained at least one guy that was a major name in wrestling at one time. And so this, I think that qualified, and it was advertised as a main event on a pay-per-view, this thing. So I think this was worse. And this was basically an insult to anybody who's ever worked in professional wrestling, that they would try to pass this off as a street fight and expect you to pay for it. And Sting beat Starks somehow. I don't care. Do you like it? Was it better on the pain? Are you still on your pain pills for your teeth?
No, I'm out of those, unfortunately. Other than pharmaceutical grade ibuprofen, aka Motrin.
So this didn't do any good for you on watching this match either. And
I didn't hate it like you did, though. I thought it was maybe the best cinematic match. I know that's a very low bar.
That's like being the nicest guy in prison. The Undertaker and AJ Styles was shot well and kind of like a movie. And once I saw it, I didn't want to see any more of them. And now this is all we're going to see.
I like this better than Undertaker and AJ Styles. And boy, I'll tell you, for a guy,
did you hear Taz saying "kick out to Starks"?
The whole commentary over it was ridiculous. It wasn't live. Everyone knew it wasn't live. I don't know why they decided to do that. Maybe to drown out some of the music. I'm really not sure.
Well, and that's another thing. The music, the tense, spooky music, and all the other shit. It's obviously people cooperating with each other to film a movie instead of a wrestling match. And if I wanted to watch a fucking movie, I could have watched a fucking movie and not some cable access indie wrestling.
I thought it was all right.
It's insulting at this point.
All things considered, what it was, I thought it was all right in the universe of cinematic matches. Sting seems to be able to move pretty good in that ring.
Other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how did you enjoy the play? Well, I'm glad Sting can move well in the ring. I wonder how many hours it took to shoot the fucking 3 bumps that he took. That's it. It's cheating.
That spot where they threw Darby into the glass thing and then he went down and then the board just crashed onto his head.
I didn't even see that part. I think I was playing with Harley.
I thought that was pretty cool. But, I mean, there were silly elements of it, of course. But if you're going to do a cinematic match, and I'm against it, but out of all the ones we've seen, and there have been some amazingly bad ones in WWE that were embarrassing. Like, this isn't anywhere near as embarrassing as that swamp fight. I thought this may have been the best cinematic match of them all. Again, low bar, but gotta be honest.
How about that abortion where they fought up to the top of Titan Tower and then one guy fell off the roof?
Was that cinematic or was that... I mean, do you...
I consider anything where they're just shooting shit like a movie in separate scenes and not doing a continuous fight from beginning to end, whether in front of people or not, cinematic, and that's another word for cheating, and another word for bullshit, and another word for fake, and another word for an offense against professional wrestling.
If you consider that a cinematic match, I would still take this one.
When you go to college and you take your final exam, are you allowed to bring the fucking answers in with you? Then in that case, there shouldn't be multiple takes of a fucking wrestling match. If you want to make movies, start your own fucking movie studio, asshole.
Oh, don't give Tony Khan any ideas.
Well, why not? I'm getting fucking hot, but let him fuck somebody else's goddamn business up. For fuck's sake. You know what I wanted to do about this time?
No.
Shave my balls. How's that for a segue, folks? I don't know any other way to say it. After a long, cold winter, you might have let your natural sweater grow a little bit because you wanted to keep everything nice and warm and cozy. Well, now spring is springing. The sun's coming out. You need to clear the swamp. You need to make sure that everything is groomed because you might have spring break. Now that with COVID is still this year, so the people who listen to this program are not going to go to Cabo San Lucas and slobber all over everybody in the middle of a pandemic. You're still going to be sensible about this. Therefore, you need to make sure that you're groomed just in case an opportunity comes to have COVID-free, guilt-free relations with another person. Spring break in your pants. Hey, it's a party in your pants and everybody's coming. Folks, whether it's the Perfect Package 3.0 kit with the Lawnmower 3.0 waterproof cordless body trimmer, the cutting-edge ceramic blade eliminates grooming accidents, as they say, thanks to the advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. You've got the Crop Cleanser body wash. You've got the Crop Preserver ball deodorant. It's anti-chafing and moisturizing because, for heaven's sake, you don't want dry flakes down there. Oh my gosh, that would be incredible. And also the Crop Reviver ball toner. All of this and more available at manscaped.com. And if you go to manscaped.com and use the code DRIVE, D-R-I-V-E, you get 20% off and free shipping on anything at the site. DRIVE is the code. Manscaped.com is the destination. And Hawaiian Brian, if you use Manscaped, you can say aloha to your new, beautiful, shiny balls.
I will take that under consideration.
I'm glad to see that you're considering this seriously.